Hola, ¿qué es lo que mi gente? Dímelo, Orpix, Uraya, Ashes, María, Erin Ross, la superestrella, ¿qué es lo que yo dije o DGF, Blake, dímelo, de Montre. What's up, y'all? Hey, I'm here. I'm actually about to do a study session for Portuguese. I have all my materials. I got my book to write things down. Actually, where's my pen? I got a pen. Aquí. I have, yo tengo mis libros también, my vocabulary books. I have my grammar book. So I'm about to do a study session, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just go live and study? So honestamente, I probably won't be talking to you guys a lot until the end of this video, because I want to study, and I can't study and talk to you guys at the same time. So take this time to study whatever language you're learning as well. You're learning Spanish, take out your Spanish stuff and study with me. If you are learning Portuguese, you can study with me, do the same thing I'm doing. If you want to learn something else, but take this time to be productive. I'm just about to literally start my lesson. So yeah, if you have questions, write them in the chat. I will get to them after. I'll probably do like maybe 15 minutes. I don't know, 15 minutes at a time, and then take a break. Maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel yet. But yeah, camera's going back there, so I can focus not on y'all. I can focus on my stuff. So, muy bien, mi gente. Déjame prender el aire porque tengo calor. Y vamos a comenzar. So, voy a comenzar con repetir todo lo que dice la persona. Yo tengo un video aquí sobre el tiempo presente en portugués, el tiempo verbal presente. Entonces, estoy repasando las reglas y las formaciones y todo eso. Pero, sí, cuando el hombre habla, voy a estar repitiendo después de él. I'm going to be shadowing everything this guy says because I want to practice my pronunciation. I feel like my pronunciation in Portuguese is not where I want it to be. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that and then also learning. Any things that he says that I don't understand, voy a tomar apuntes y ya. But to warm up, gotta go through some vocab. So tenemos o sofá, que es el sofá. Então, eu tenho um sofá branco. A televisão. Aqui não tenho uma televisão. So what I do is like I have my vocabulary words written down here, and I really just put them into sentences. I put them into simple sentences just so I can get used to talking, and then get comfortable with the words y cosas así. Entonces não tenho uma televisão. I don't know how to say ni, so I'm just going to make another sentence. Também não. That's like neither. Também não. Tenho uma poltrona. Mas tenho um tapete branco e cinza. Na cama há 4 almofadas. Na parede há um quadro. Tenho 2 janelas e tenho 2 janelas grandes. Neste momento as janelas estão fechas? Não sei. Tenho que aprender a palavra cerrada, pero sim. Agora não estou na sala de estar. A cadeira. Há uma cadeira aqui. Gracias, Erin Ross, por tu mensaje de texto. No sé lo que tú dijiste. Ok, temos as palavras aqui, ou cá, lá, ou ali, ou aí. Existe, por ejemplo, no. ¿Cómo se dice ejemplo? Por ejemplo, yo no sé. Déjame escribir esta palabra porque yo quiero saber cómo decir, por ejemplo, en otra página aquí. Aquí. Por ejemplo, quiero saber cómo decir eso. Então, aqui há uma mesa de cabeceira, um sofá, uma mesa branca e grande, um tapete cinza e branco, uma cadeira roxa, uma cama branca com 4 almofadas. ¿Qué más? No sé. Ok, that's what I got for now. Con la palabra a. Na cozinha há um fogão, um forno. Não tenho liquidificador, mas se tenho uma geladeira. Não tenho micro-ondas, porque não gosto das micro-ondas. Há uma pia. Tenho talheres, como, por exemplo, a colher. Tenho 4 colheres, 4 facas e 4 garfos. Não tenho uma cafeteira porque não bebo café. Há muitas coisas, há muitas coisas nos armários. E tenho muitas panelas. Okay, entonces, that's my warm-up. I just go through the vocabulary and try to put it into sentences, try to make it make sense. Sometimes I do it like with myself, talking about myself. Sometimes I do it talking about other people, which I think is good to talk about other people. We don't want to only talk about ourselves, because when we converse, we're not just talking about ourselves, we're talking about what other people do. So you got to get used to that, which is why I'm focusing on present tense today. Yo estoy centrándome en el presente del portugués hoy. Então, vamos começar com o vídeo. Entonces, el video es de Vou Aprender Português. Um canal de YouTube, e o vídeo se chama El Tiempo Presente en Portugués, literalmente. Vamos a comenzar. Entonces, como dije antes, voy a estar repitiendo después del hombre. Y si él dice algo que yo necesito aprender, voy a tomar apuntes para aprenderlo. Entonces,
como funciona o presente em português? Neste vídeo eu vou te explicar.
Isso é interessante. Vou te explicar. Eu vou te explicar. ¿Por qué estoy escribiendo eso? Porque en español eso rompe las reglas. No puedo decir en español voy te explicar. Puedo decir te voy a explicar o voy a explicarte. Entonces en portugués es un poco diferente, y eso es algo que yo quiero recordar. O sea, la colocación del pronombre te, me, cosas así. Entonces, eu vou te explicar. Es lo que dijo él. Voy a poner una estrella para recordar esto más tarde.
Bom, para começar, não se esqueça de ativar as legendas para você entender tudo.
As legendas. O que digo?
Começar, não se esqueça de ativar.
Não se esquece.
Várias legendas para você. Bom, para começar, não se esqueça de ativar as legendas para você.
Ok, não se esquece de Ativar?
Entender. Para começar, não se esqueça de ativar as legendas.
Ah, de ativar as legendas. Ok. Não se esqueça. Não se esqueça. Como se pronuncia?
Bom, para começar, não se esqueça de
Se esquece de ativar as legendas. Entonces, eso significa, o sea, legendas en portugués sería subtítulos en español. Entonces, no se olviden de activar los subtítulos. Não se esquece de ativar as legendas. Não se esquece não se esquece de ativar as legendas. Ese ritmo, yo quiero coger el ritmo. Ellos no hablan tan rápido como el español, pero no hablan súper despacio. Entonces yo no quiero hablar muy rápido como yo hablo mi español dominicano. Yo quiero hablar a una velocidad moderada, pero tampoco quiero hablar como alguien que no sabe lo que está diciendo. Não se esquece de ativar as legendas.
ativar as legendas para você entender todas as explicações. Quando ativar as legendas para você entender todas as explicações. Quando queremos falar sobre a nossa rotina, os nossos hábitos.
Nossa rotina. Nossas rotinas son nossos hábitos. Entonces, rotina tiene que ser rutina. Rotina. Porque él dice hábitos después de decir rotinas, entonces eso tiene que ser rutina. Vamos a confirmar eso más tarde, pero
quando queremos falar sobre a nossa rotina, os nossos hábitos, as coisas que nós fazemos frequentemente, vamos usar o tempo verbal presente do indicativo. É a forma mais simples de conjugar os verbos em português. E lembrando que em português nós temos 3 tipos de verbos. E lembrando que em português nós temos 3 tipos de verbo.
Lembrando. Então temos o verbo esquecer, que é olvidar. Esquecer. E temos lembrando. Então, lembrar tem que ser recordar. Lembrando, recordar, tá todo.
Os verbos que terminam com AR, como por exemplo...
AR. Oh, yo estaba diciendo AR, pero AR. Okay, muy bien. If you guys are new or like just jumping into the chat, I am not talking to you guys at the moment, but if you have questions, go ahead and write them in the chat and I'll get to them in a few minutes. I want to make sure to get my studying done first, and you guys can follow along, study whatever you're studying. If you're studying Spanish, go ahead and pull out your stuff. Let's study together, and then we can talk after our little study session. Muy bien.
Tipos de verbos. Os verbos que terminam com AR, como por exemplo, falar e gostar.
Gostar. Falar e gostar. Ya sé utilizar estos verbos, pero quiero practicar con ellos, entonces estoy escribiéndolos para poder utilizarlos en oraciones después.
Os verbos que terminam com ER, como por exemplo, comer e beber.
Comer.
E os verbos que terminam com IR.
Espérate. Comer y beber. Ok. IR. Verbos que terminam
comer e beber. E os verbos que terminam com IE.
Termina com IR.
R, como por exemplo, abrir.
Por exemplo, aprendimos como decir por ejemplo, mi gente. Por exemplo. Por exemplo. Y me imagino que se escribe con X y no Z. Por ejemplo. Por ejemplo. Muy bien, porque eso quería aprender hoy. Porque quería utilizarlo antes en una oración. Muy bien, ok. Como abrir
Ou dividir.
o dividir. Ok, abrir ou dividir.
Vamos ver alguns exemplos de como funciona o presente
Como funciona o
e depois eu
presente.
mostro exatamente qual é exemplos de como funciona o presente e depois eu mostro exatamente qual é a estrutura desse tempo verbal.
Como a
Com o verbo
estrutura.
falar, nós podemos dizer
Falar.
eu falo português.
Eu falo
Com o
português.
verbo gostar, eu posso dizer ele gosta
Ele
de
gosta
chocolate.
de
Com o
chocolate.
verbo comer, eu
Não,
posso
ele-
dizer nós comemos vegetais.
Nós comemos
Com o verbo
vegetais.
beber, eu posso dizer você bebe café.
Você
Com o verbo
bebe café. Você bebe café. Ok, então é muito similar ao espanhol. Muito similar. Mas não vejo as conjugações aqui.
verbo abrir, eu posso dizer
Abrir.
eu abro a janela.
Eu abro
E com o verbo
a
dividir,
janela.
eu posso dizer eles dividem a
Eles
comida.
dividem
A
a
conjugação
comida.
do presente e do indicativo segue um padrão para os verbos regulares. Eu vou
Verbos
colocar essa
regulares.
conjugação aqui na tela para você entender melhor.
Esto es lo que quería. Ok. Entonces tenemos O, A, amos, am, muito bem, muito bem. Isto é o que quero? Não sei. Para os verbos que terminam com ER, temos eu, você é, ele, ela é, nós emos, vocês em, eles, elas em. E para os verbos que terminam com IR, temos o, imos, em. Muito bom, legal. Então, agora vou praticar um pouco. Temos os verbos AR, falar, gostar. Então, meu irmão, ou os meus irmãos não falam português, não falam espanhol. Também não falam espanhol. Também não falam espanhol. Mas tenho uma irmã que fala espanhol. Às vezes falo espanhol com ela. Muito bom. A minha mãe não fala espanhol, mas fala inglês. Não sei como dizer em inglês. Muito bom. Que mais tem? Oh, sim. Amigo. Como se diz amigo? Não tá. Não sei como dizer amigo. Es amigo, me imagino. Entonces tengo que buscarlo aquí. Amigo. Oh, sim, es amigo. Ok. Então. O meu amigo. Eso me suena feo, como mi amigo y yo. O meu amigo eu e meu amigo falamos espanhol e inglês. Muito bom. Eu gosto muito de chocolate, mas os meus irmãos, el plural, no sé cómo funciona el plural, entonces con esto vamos a tener que estudiarlo. Irmão, plural. Porque no sé si es irmãos o irmãs o algo así, no sé exactamente qué es, pero voy a decir irmãos por ahora. Irmãos. Meus irmãos não falam espanhol. Não gostam de chocolate. Você não gosta de chocolate? Você não gosta de chocolate? Vocês gostam? Como se pronuncia essa A? Ele lo dice, não sei se lo dice.
Você pode perceber que a conjugação com os verbos que terminam com AE
terminam. Então, vocês gostam. Vocês não gostam de chocolate? Ok, gostam. Então, déjame começar a pronunciar assim. Gostam. Terminam. Ok, muy bien. Gostam. Não gostam de chocolate. Muito bem. Ok, então continuamos. Muito bem. Elas não gostam. Esta pronunciação. Elas não gostam de chocolate. Gostam de chocolate. Muito bom. Ok, comer. Como muito. Eu como muito. Mas você não come. Minha irmã e eu e minha irmã comemos muito. Mas vocês não comem nada. Vocês não comem nada. Eles sempre comem. Sempre comem. Muito bem. Muito bom. Beber. Quando como, bebo algo também. Mas quando você come, não bebe nada. Ele sempre bebe. mas nunca come. Os meus amigos e eu e os meus amigos. I gotta learn this. I don't know how to use o, meu versus meu. ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Ok, o meu, eu e meus amigos bebemos muito, mas não comemos nada. Vocês comem frequentemente. Eles não comem, não bebem frequentemente. Muito bom. Ok, abrir, verbos com IR. Então, eu não abro a janela, mas você sempre abre. Você. Ok, eu vou pensar de novo. Eu nunca abro as janelas, mas você sempre abre. Você sempre abre as janelas. Ok. Ele abre a porta. Ele abre a porta. Mas nós não abrimos. Mas nós não abrimos a porta. Ou as portas. As portas. Nós não abrimos as portas. Vocês sempre abrem as janelas. Vocês sempre abrem as janelas. Mas elas não sei como dizer nunca. Mas elas não abrem as janelas. Muito bom.
R ou IR é muito parecida. Portanto, nos exemplos anteriores eu usei o verbo falar, que no presente ficou eu falo. O verbo comer, que no presente ficou nós comemos. Verbo beber, que no presente ficou você bebe. O verbo abrir, que no presente ficou eu abro. E o verbo dividir, que no presente ficou eles dividem. Se você quiser ver as conjugações...
Esse verbo ficar. A gente sempre usa o verbo ficar e não sei o que significa. Não sei usar esse verbo. Então, sim. ¿Qué es lo que mi gente? Saludos, no sé cuántos están viendo esto, pero yo estoy estudiando, entonces pueden aprovechar el momento para estudiar un poquito también en español, en inglés si quieres aprender inglés, en portugués si quieres aprender esto conmigo, y después vamos a hablar en un momento, pero por el momento estoy estudiando todavía.
Com um pouco mais de calma, você pode pausar o vídeo agora e tirar uma captura de tela.
Tirar uma captura de tela. Essa, ok. Entonces puedes hacer un screenshot. Una captura de pantalla. Uma captura de tela. Isso me gusta. Gosto de essa frase porque vou usar essa frase. Muito bom.
Calma, item. Se você quiser ver as conjugações com um pouco mais de calma, Você pode pausar o vídeo agora e tirar uma captura de tela. Já para os verbos irregulares, não existe muito padrão. Infelizmente, nós temos que memorizá-los. Porém, aqui no YouTube, eu já fiz alguns vídeos sobre os principais verbos irregulares. Eu vou deixar aqui no card uma lista com todos esses vídeos para você assistir. E é isso. Espero que esse vídeo tenha sido útil para você. Se você gostou, clica no like para me ajudar a fazer mais vídeos como esse.
Vamos a darle me gusta.
Não esquece de se inscrever no canal para você não perder os próximos vídeos. Aqui na tela eu vou deixar mais 2 vídeos para você continuar aprendendo português.
Obrigado, meu amigo. Muito bem. Ok, então tenho algumas palavras que vou estudar depois dessa aula vou aprender português. Sí, pero esa es la sesión de ahora. Okay, so that's my quick study session. I have more to do, but that's just one of my study sessions of the day. Entonces, vamos a hablar, mi gente, vamos a hablar. ¿Qué es lo que con ustedes? ¿Cómo están? Vamos a ver qué dijeron. Si puedo ver el chat. ¿Qué es eso? Yo no quiero eso. Ok, muy bien. Ok. Okay, is this your Spanish study session? No, this was a Portuguese study session. I mean, if you guys were studying Spanish, that's fine though. I wasn't doing this. My Spanish study sessions with my students are on Zoom. What are y'all primary studying programs now that... Wait, what? They closed Duolingo? How did they close Duolingo? Somebody explain, please. Saludos a ti, mi hermano. Me ayudaste a aprender español cuando empecé a aprender durante la cuarentena. Y cuando tú empezaste a aprender durante la cuarentena, gracias por usar mis videos para aprender. O sea, es mi placer. Y no vivo en República Dominicana todavía. Estoy en Miami. Me encanta. It's how my friend knows Portuguese. He tells me I sound like I'm speaking gibberish. If it sounds like you're speaking weird in Portuguese, just go really slow. Go very slow. Like today, I mean, I'm sounded crazy, but I was going slow when I was repeating things. So it's gonna sound slow for a minute until my mouth gets used to it, but that's okay. Así como aprendemos los idiomas, tú sabes. Ellis, yo, yeah, I remember you, bro. Yeah, in Aurora, that's crazy. I don't know if you're still here. But yeah, so guys, one day I was, so my family lives in Aurora, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago. And I was at my sister's house, and I had to catch a train to get back to Miami. And I was running, like drenched in sweat with my book bag and everything. And this guy was like, hey, I know you're from YouTube. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Because I never thought that, like, you know, like in the city that you're from, that people would like recognize you. I didn't think that would happen because it's like, I don't know, people know you everywhere else, but not in your own place, right? But he stopped me there, and I was like, "Oh, snaps!" Yeah, so I do remember you, man. I never knew your name. Now I know your name. I gotta write that down. We gotta link up or something. Next time I'm in that area. Pero anyways, Tiffany, ¿qué es lo que contigo? Daniel Díaz, ¿qué es lo que? Dímelo. Yani TV, tú quieres aprender francés, eso está duro. Sí, habla. Hola, yo hablo español. Jazmín, dímelo. Ya veo que lo dijeron antes. Suerte con tu portugués, gracias. No creo en la suerte, entonces vamos a decir éxito con el portugués. Parece que con portugués la mayoría del problema es cómo se pronuncian las palabras, ¿no? Depende, o sea, depende de la persona. Para mí, sí, tengo que acostumbrarme, pero siempre tengo que acostumbrarme a los acentos diferentes. Por ejemplo, cuando yo aprendí a hablar como el español dominicano, o como dominicano, como puertorriqueño, como colombiano, todo esos acentos, me costó ajustar la boca, pero lo, lo que yo he visto o aprendido es que todo tiene que ver con la colocación de la lengua, porque no todo se pronuncia como el inglés ni como el español. Y también, sí, tengo que no pensarlo tanto, porque si yo lo pienso mucho, o sea, es horrible, me suena horrible. Entonces, si no trato de pensar tanto en la pronunciación así de esa forma. Iba a decir, ¿cuál sitio estás utilizando? Yo estoy usando YouTube. Si yo estoy aprendiendo un idioma, yo voy a usar YouTube. Um, Porque me gusta. O sea, yo soy YouTuber, entonces yo uso YouTube. Es mi fuente primaria. Pero a veces uso Instagram, TikTok, todas las redes sociales, ¿sabes? Todas las portugués. Estou aprendendo. Não falo muito português, mas estou estudando todos os dias e praticando frequentemente. I'm going to DR in July was a system I could use to learn. Subscribe to Bilingue blogs. Tu sabe. Also, I have a video talking about the best resources to learn the best resources to use Dominican Spanish. I'm going to be coming out with the best resources for all the different accents of Spanish, but so far I think I just have Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. I'm coming out with Mexico and Colombia next. And for improving your listening comprehension in Portuguese, do you listen over and over again until you understand it perfectly, or do you just move on after a while? So I just listen. Like, there's a certain part that I kind of grasp, then I will repeat that until I get it clearly. But obviously, I'm beginner, like super beginner. So I'm not gonna know a lot. I mean, I'm thankful to Spanish because con el español yo entiendo muchísimo. I understand so much with my Spanish abilities. So that helps out a lot when it comes to learning Portuguese. Because there's some things that I know that I don't know how I know them. It sounds so much like Spanish. But besides that, ¿cuál era? Oh yeah, besides that, I just keep it playing, I keep on playing. But what I do is I listen to the same audios over and over. So there's a podcast that I like on Spotify. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like, is it Portugués Fácil o Brasil Fácil? Algo así, no sé. Y yo siempre estoy repitiendo los episodios y escuchándolos y puedo retener más o aprender más palabras, más frases y cosas así. Nati, ¿qué lo que? I have a question. Do I focus on grammar or vocab first? I already know basic Spanish vocab, but I feel like I need to learn more. Both. Do both of them at the same time. Pick a skill and like, let's say what I was focusing on today, the present tense in Portuguese. You can do the present tense in Spanish, regular verbs. Then learn how to conjugate those regular verbs. That's the grammar part of it. Now that you have that grammar part of it, I start adding verbs on there. So my next step after this study session is with this book, I hit myself in the nose. With this book, my Portuguese vocabulary book, which you can have one in Spanish. I have plenty of Spanish ones. Let me give you a Spanish example. ¿Dónde está ese libro? Aquí. Like this one, Mastering Spanish Vocabulary. You can use a book like this. And then you can find like AR verbs, regular AR verbs, and like ones that you are going to use. So stuff in the kitchen maybe, or stuff around the house. And then practice conjugating with those. So yeah, it's good to do vocabulary and grammar at the same time. It's not like one is better than the other, or you should start with one over the other. Ok. Si puedo hablar como panameño. En este momento no estoy preparado para hacerlo. Honestamente, cuando yo hago un video así, yo estudio por semanas. O sea, escucho gente de esos países, practico mucho y después hago el video. Entonces, como yo tengo mucho tiempo sin hablar como panameño, no tengo todas las características en la frente de mi mente ahora mismo. Entonces, no voy a poder en este momento, pero tíreme la próxima vez. hacer, voy a mudarme para Miami, ¿qué cosas tengo que saber? Me voy a entrar en la universidad en Miami también, me puedes aconsejar. Bueno, o sea, ¿qué tipo de consejo tú quieres? No sé, es como vivir en cualquier otro lugar, cualquier otra ciudad, honestamente, pero además hay mucho por hacer. Mi consejo sería, disfruta tu tiempo aquí, porque no hay otra ciudad como Miami. Es súper bonita. A mí me encantan las palmeras, el español. Y si tú quieres mejorar tu español, pues tú estás en el lugar perfecto. Nueva York, Miami, Texas, Chicago, California son los mejores lugares, en mi opinión, para aprender español. Entonces, estás aquí cerca del Caribe, sí, entonces disfrútalo, sal mucho, conoce gente. um, y sí, también obviamente quieres tener cuidado, pero no me ha pasado nada malo. Yo he estado aquí casi 5 años y no me ha pasado nada de malo. Entonces, um, no sé qué decirte. ¿Qué es lo que tú quieres que te diga? O sea, ¿qué quieres saber de Miami? Eh, what up, Natty Slim? I saw you in Philly Dome live stream. That's what's up. Grande, estudia español de mexicanos ahora. Estás diciéndome que estudie el español mexicano, porque yo empecé con el español de mexicano. I speak Spanish and Canadian and Portuguese. Que lo que. That's funny. Yes, que lo que is how you say what's up, Dominican style. I've been studying Spanish for 1 hour a day since February 2022. Haven't missed a day. Eso, I love to hear stuff like that. Muy bien. It's a lot of patience. I have studies in college on my own and a private teacher. Eso está duro. No, Mike Ben is a guy from Atlanta. Tengo un nivel intermedio en español. Estoy aburrido cuando veo podcasts muchas veces, pero tengo dificultades entendiendo muchas palabras, series en español. ¿Tienes tips para que mejore el español? Bueno, Elliot, bueno, tienes que saber que no todo va a ser divertido, no todo va a ser divertido en el proceso de aprender español. Entonces, um, lo, la otra solución que tengo para ti sería conversar con la gente. En vez de escuchar los podcasts y cosas así, pues conversa con la gente, quieres hacer amigos con hispanohablantes y hablar con ellos. Y es una buena forma para aprender, porque no solamente estás mejorando tu comprensión, pero estás mejorando tu forma de hablar también, tu forma de expresarte. Entonces, si eso no funciona para ti, haz eso. Eso es la única cosa que te puedo decir. How long do you think it will take you'll be conversational? Wait, how long do you think you will be conversation Portuguese fluency? I don't know. No sé. And I don't care either. I don't really do things by that kind of deadline, you know? I mean, I have my weekly goals and things of that sort, and that really just helps me to push further ahead. If I think too far ahead, then it can look overwhelming sometimes. So yeah, it's important to have a long-term goal, like I say within a year or two. But I don't really look at that distance too much. Like, I never look at the end line, because at the end of the day, I never stop learning. I'm still learning Spanish right now. Yo todavía estoy aprendiendo español. O sea, entonces, and I'm still learning English, even though it's my first language, I'm still learning it. So there's never a deadline to it, but conversational, probably, I don't know, probably quickly. It probably happened quickly. I was in the elevator the other day and I saw this couple speaking Portuguese, and I started to talk to them right away. And like, I wish I could have said more, but I'm like, I gotta give them what I got. So I was able to have a small conversation with them, and that kind of stuff, motivates me when I can see people or hear people that speak that language and then go talk to them, just even if it's just a little bit. So yeah. Tips for studying Spanish and Portuguese together. what's your study pattern? How are you doing it so far? For me, as far as studying both of them together, what do I do? And well, I'm not doing Spanish, obviously. I'm doing another language in Portuguese. I do them like weekly shifts. So let's say this week I'm studying Portuguese. Well, that means that also this week well, let me put it this way. And this week I'll be learning new things in Portuguese. Okay, this week I'll be learning new things in Portuguese. But in the other language, I'm not learning anything new in that language. I'm just reviewing everything that I learned in that language from last week. So that way it's more ingrained in me. And then with the Portuguese, I can keep moving further ahead. So it's kind of like I'm juggling. That's how I'm doing two languages at once. So I don't know if that works for you. I saw a video the other day where a guy was saying that you should study both languages every day, like the same thing. But I'm doing it a different way because I'm learning them differently. I'm learning Portuguese from Spanish, and I'm learning the other language from the other language. So I'm not using English or Spanish to learn it. So it's just two different tactics, and seeing which one works better for my brain, just as an experiment because I can. Why not? So, and I can't give you any tips on it because this is my first time going through it. But I can just tell you what I'm doing. Can you talk about the process of building a language channel and content creation? Yeah, sure. So for me, it all started out with not having anybody to talk to in Spanish where I was living at the time when I was in Springfield, Illinois. It was very boring, extremely boring. So I was like, I speak Spanish. It's my favorite language. I got nobody to talk to here because if you're there, pretty much you're either black or white, and that's it. It's like cornfields, you know? So I made the channel based off of that, you know, just my passion. Spanish has been my passion since I was like 8. So I was like, why don't I just bring that to the world and just do like these talking videos? And then people started to ask if I can teach, and I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, I don't teach you how the school teaches. I'll teach you the unorthodox methods that I use to learn, and if that helps, then that's fine. And it pretty much just started to take off from there, where I started to post tips and tricks that I used personally that I didn't hear anybody else using before. And then, you know, people started to take those and run with it, and you know, here we are 6 years later. People have learned Spanish thanks to those videos. So for me, it was finding something that I was passionate about. Because before that, I had a music channel, and I was doing really good with the music channel actually, but it was a lot of work. Whereas doing the Spanish content creation doesn't feel like a lot of work. I mean, it can. You know, I took a 3-month break this year because I was just overwhelmed, I think, in my own head. But I'm back now, and it doesn't feel like a lot of work. Like I have a schedule, and I still have my private students who are learning Spanish with me, and I'm still able to give value to my subscribers without feeling like I'm cheating my students. You know, that was my biggest fear. Like I don't want to have people paying for classes and then give these things away for free to these people who are not paying for classes. But I found the good balance of how to do that. So, yeah, the content that I'm giving now is definitely full of value. Something that I'm passionate about. So if you want to do content creation, find something that you love doing. Don't do it for money because you're not gonna like it. It's gonna be just like any other job working for somebody else. You're not gonna like it. But if it's something that you know you really like, really love, then go ahead and get into it. But so how I break it up typically is my YouTube is more of a serious place. Of course, I add my personality in there, which I like to joke around. So I have some funny videos in there, some funny moments in my videos, but it's more long form. And then on Instagram, it's kind of like I would say Instagram is my most used social media. Because I can communicate with a lot of you guys. Like YouTube isn't the best with allowing me to communicate and get surveys and things like that, so I'll use Instagram for that. And then TikTok is like just my whole silly side. It's just a whole different silly side of me that I don't really bring too much to YouTube. Like I bring a little bit to YouTube, but I don't focus on that so much. But TikTok is like I don't like TikTok, so I gotta make it fun for myself because I just really don't like TikTok. So if it's not fun, I won't post any videos. So yeah, I'm trying to get better at doing that. So I gotta make it entertaining for you guys and also for myself, for me to be able to post on there. So those are how I use those 3 social medias. And I guess I'm about to start using LinkedIn again and Facebook because they're still here. They haven't died. And I want to make sure that my videos are getting good reach, you know, because I'm not giving the information. And well, let's put it this way. I want people to receive this information so they can really make a change in their life to learn Spanish. So I want it to reach as many people as it can, right? So, and if you share videos, if you share my content, I really appreciate you for that because that goes a long way. Like it really goes a long way. Yeah. So really, I thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for even being here right now. Like, I'm just talking, and you guys are here listening. So thank you for that. Would you suggest using only comprehensible input, or would you recommend a combination of traditional learning and CI? I'm exploring that right now. I'm doing the traditional method with Portuguese, and with my other language, I'm only using comprehensible input. That's it. So far, they're both seem to be working pretty well. You know, they're working pretty well for me. I would say, and maybe it's because it's closer to Spanish. Portuguese seems a little bit faster. Like I'm learning it faster, and I think it's because of how close it is to Spanish, whereas the other language is not as close. But yeah, I'm still able to learn with the comprehensible input because I always see these videos where people are teaching English from English. So I'm like, how are you teaching English from English? Like that doesn't make sense to me, you know. But it's possible because I'm learning the other language from that language. It's so hard to say the other language, so I'm gonna stop talking about it because it almost slipped out right now. Anyways, I admire and respect how far you've come y agradezco el amor que tienes por mi cultura de República Dominicana. Tú sabes. Soy de uno, no de dos. Me encanta la cultura dominicana y un día voy a mudarme para allá, tú sabes. Quiero conocer Barahona porque ese lugar es lindo. Yo sé que que la gente no siempre está hablando la gente no siempre habla de Barahona, pero para mí ese lugar es el final. O sea, nunca he ido, pero desde mi punto de vista, de lo que he visto, me encanta. How long did it take you to learn Spanish? Like 2.5 years. It took me like 2.5 years to learn Spanish. 4 years before I felt really comfortable speaking with people who were not close friends or family. And when I say family, it was really my best friend's family because his dad's from Colombia. How can we speak Spanish fast when we speak English, our own native language, slow? It doesn't have anything to do with that. It doesn't have anything to do with that, honestly. Because for me, I speak both languages fast, and that's actually why I learned Spanish. All it is getting used to the sounds. You're getting used to the sounds, and your mouth gets acquainted with the Spanish pronunciation, and then it just comes out faster as you get better. I didn't always speak fast in Spanish. I know I'm sister's previous girlfriend. Which girlfriend? How come? Oh, I answered that question already. Pam's and go to Spanish exchange meetings 2 weeks. Oh yeah, I'm about to start doing meetups. Okay, what brought you over here? What brought me over where? Over to YouTube? How much do you charge for your classes? So I have a lot of different classes. Actually, in January, guys, because I realized I don't have a platform for everybody to come and practice their Spanish together. So I want to provide that for my students and also any other future students, any of you guys, if you're interested. I'm going to be doing a conversation, I'm going to be doing mini conversation classes for beginner level, for intermediate level, and for advanced level starting in January. That's my new plan. I haven't rolled it out yet to the public. I'm going to actually be working on that today after this live, getting that set up behind the scenes. Pero, yeah, if you're interested in Spanish conversation, practicing with people, it will be over Zoom. I would love to do something in person, actually. I want to do something in person, but that'll be like a group trip. That'll be a group trip. But for now, we'll just do Zoom, and we can all talk about the same thing. You'll get comprehension practice, and you'll get conversation practice, and then I'll come through at the end and then show you guys all the corrections so that way we can all be on the same page. And yeah, but anyways, classes, how much do I charge? So I have the 30-minute classes, that's $30. and those are for people who are like really busy, who want to just get in the Spanish lesson really quick. I write the corrections in the chat, I send them to you, and that's that, right? So we have $38 for that. The class I just talked about, the conversation class for everybody is going to be $15 per person. That's very affordable. I think it's fair for everyone. So yeah, $15 a class for that. That'll be my lowest option. Besides that, I have an option for $45 and an option for $46. Those are my hour classes. So the 45 is, it doesn't come with homework. So it's for people who don't need homework. Because a lot of people, if I assign homework, they won't do it. So I'm like, well, okay, then I don't need to assign it. I don't need to work on that homework for them because my homework is personalized, right? So if you don't want the homework, then it's 45. If you do want the homework, then it's 60. Because like I said, it's personalized. So that's me working after class to put something together for you. But it can be cheaper with the packages. The packages, they come with 5 classes and you get one free. So 6 classes total. And it's cheaper than the original class if you do that, because it's a package. You know, I'm rewarding those who are faithful and who are really like in this for sure, you know, giving them cheaper prices y cosas así. So those are the prices that I have for that. Then I have the accent consultation. You guys have seen my videos where I'm like, oh, how to speak like a Dominican, how to speak like a Mexican, how to speak like a Colombian, all those things. Well, I have classes for that as well. The Spanish accent consultation, that's $65. And then I have the person who wants to learn Spanish on their own, who doesn't want a teacher, who doesn't, you know, want to see me every week or every 2 weeks or however. They don't want to see me really. You know, they want to work on their own, and they're really responsible. Then I give that curriculum to them. I help them set goals and all those things. And that's $100. It's a one-time thing for like the whole thing for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So yeah, esos son los precios. Yes, follow you on all platforms. Absolutely love your content. Thank you so much. What's the topic for today? Today I was studying Portuguese. I did it for about, I think, 30-ish minutes. I'm about to go in 3 minutes, y'all. So if you got any questions, ask. Let's go away. Claro que sí, me acuerdo de ti. Y sí, me reúno con y'all are not fans. Y'all are, I don't know. I don't consider people fans. I don't know. Ustedes me siguen. You guys are seguidores de mi canal de YouTube. Suscriptores, okay? But yeah, I meet up with people all the time. Yeah, like if I'm in your city, I'll meet up with you. I almost met up with this guy in South Africa. He was in Joburg. He wanted to show me around, but I didn't have the time to do so. But yeah, I always meet up with people because you guys are supporting me. I'm just a regular person, you know. I like to talk, you know. Vamos a practicar español y todo eso. So yeah, I meet up with people all the time. Actually, you guys know, on the last 2 Dominican Republic videos I did when I was with Chris, she's a YouTuber, and she was in Miami with her friends, and she was like, hey, can you show us around Calle Ocho? I was like, I got nothing to do today, sure. So I went down there, and that's how we met. And then we ended up going to DR together. So yeah, I meet up with people. I don't care. Just don't kill me. How often do you come across someone who can't understand or have difficult understanding? For example, the video of the guy who was being interviewed asking if he was happy living in Cuba. Literalmente, depende del acento de la persona. Si es una persona de Cuba, if it's a person from Cuba, it's hit or miss. Most of the time I understand them, but some people just have this broken jaw way of speaking where it's like nothing connects at all. And it's like, I gotta listen super close. And it's few and far in between, you know. It doesn't really happen often, pero pasa, and it happens all the time, you know, even with native speakers. So, you know, never get discouraged for that, and because that's just how the language is, unfortunately. Sometimes you have people who talk sloppy. I talk really fast in English. People can't understand me a lot, so I get it. I get scared when I have to respond back in Spanish. Why? ¿Por qué te asustas? Gracias por referirme la Biblia para aprender español en tiempo pasado. Está funcionando bien. Eso, sí, así mismo, porque tú sabes que es, o sea, todo que pasó en la Biblia pasó en el pasado. Entonces eso te va a ayudar porque tiene el pretérito y el imperfecto. Porque tiene que describir las cosas, el imperfecto, y tiene que decir qué pasó, el pretérito. So the major difference between the preterite and imperfect, guys, is the imperfect talks about what was going on, what used to happen, whereas the preterite is going to be what happened. That's pretty much how I separate it in my head, and it makes sense. It works every time. There's an international airport in Barahona. I'm not sure if it's operational. It's called Aeropuerto Internacional María Montes. Never heard of it, but I'm gonna check that out. Let me write that down. Ashley Jones, do you feel as though speaking Dominican Spanish has altered how you speak English? I mean, I think learning Spanish has altered how I speak English. I think being around Spanish speakers altered how I speak English because I had this. People tell me that I have an accent when I speak English. They always ask me where I'm from, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Chicago." They're like, "No, but where are you really from?" It's like, I'm from Chicago," but it's that influence from my formative years, being around people who spoke like that. Um, it really made it changed my accent before I even knew Spanish. So after learning Spanish, yeah, for sure. Like I noticed that if I go long periods of time speaking Spanish, then when I go back to English, it's like stuck. My tongue is like stuck in Spanish, so I'm pronouncing English stuff with a Spanish accent. But it goes away after a while. Like I think right now, it's like that's how I normally talk. So if there's something there, that's just how I normally talk. But if I was doing this whole thing in Spanish for an hour and then I went out to go talk to somebody in English, it would be a lot stronger. It's really interesting. Okay. Can you explain how to get Zioma, like pronounce the name, level reactions out of Spanish speakers when you're gringo speaking Spanish? I don't know because I don't get those kind of reactions. You gotta ask that guy because you no sé. Oh yeah, my classes are US dollars. Good point. Have you ever caught someone talking about you in Spanish and then you surprise them with your Spanish? Yes, but it wasn't anything bad. I was a cashier. I was in college. I was a cashier at this Walmart, and my customers was coming. We were coming to my lane, and I guess the daughter had said something bad about somebody in Spanish, and the mom was like, le estaba regañando. She was like scolding her pretty much, saying, "Hey, you gotta be careful what you say. You never know who speaks Spanish." She was like, ese caballero puede ser de Cuba o algo así. Like, she's saying that I could be from Cuba. Like, she's pointing to me, telling her that I could be from Cuba. And it was the funniest thing because she didn't think I spoke Spanish. She was just telling her daughter, teaching her a lesson. And it was the perfect lane for them to come to because I was like, de hecho, yo sí hablo español. And then we all died laughing because it's like, you never know who speaks Spanish, So be careful what you say. Don't talk about people just because you're speaking a different language. Don't talk about them at all. And so that was a funny experience. But that was like my only time that I really had that happen. Besides that, nah, people don't really talk about me like that. Now, as a flight attendant, yeah, sometimes we talked about the passengers, but it wouldn't be like rude stuff, just about what happened, just about what happened. So, yeah. Nasty Lima, ¿qué loca contigo? I hope I can follow you to the end of next year. Of course you can. Why wouldn't you be able to? ¿Conoces a Pablo del canal Dreaming Spanish? No, no lo conozco. ¿Por qué? How do you get comfortable speaking faster? The more you speak, the more second nature becomes, the faster you can speak. You don't have an accent when you speak English. Not sure why people tell you that. I don't hear an accent when you speak English. Yeah, I don't know. Eso me dice la gente a cada rato. All the time. What other language are you trying to learn? What other language am I learning? I'm not telling you guys. I'm not telling you. Only my members know. Only my top tier members know which language I'm trying to learn. Otherwise, nope. It's gonna be a secret until I learn it, and then I'll be like, boom, come up with this secret language on you guys. Yeah, exactly. Stumbling over your words in English. Eso pasa después de mucho español. What about Canary Island Spanish? I have a video talking about Canary Island Spanish. It's in my Spanish video, but I was like, maybe I should do a whole video dedicated to the Canary Islands. But I'm not sure what you mean by that. I hear a rolling of the tongue. ¿Cómo así? I was wondering if you can give me any tips to grow my Spanish vocabulary quickly. The more you see it, the more you say it, the more you touch it, the more it sticks with you. So if I'm going around describing things in my house, I could put a post-it note here and I can say la pared, right? La pared. So then every time I see a pared, I can touch it and be like, oh, esta es una pared, or la pared es blanca. Start making up sentences about that thing. Not translating it to English, right? So, yeah, for me. That's the best way to learn, is actually putting stuff in the application. I don't think you saw the beginning of the video, but I had my vocabulary here, and what I was doing was I was reading the vocabulary words, and then I was making sentences with that vocabulary, just sentences that I would use normally in my everyday life. So, yeah, the best way to do it is just apply it more. The more often you do it, the better it's going to stick with you. Studies show that I believe I think it's 7 times to see something before you can recall it. So yeah, just see it more, use it more, use your vocabulary more, and that'll help it to stick with you. Sí, todavía me quiero mudar para RD. Happy birthday, December 31st. I cannot do a free lesson for your birthday. Doesn't hurt to try, but no, because then I would do that for every single person, and I have no way to track that. So cannot do that one for you. Pero you can do a 30-minute session. That's $30. Tu método es muy similar al método de Dreaming Spanish. Enseña cómo aprender solamente con input comprensible. Pero yo no solamente enseño de esa manera, tú sabes. No solamente enseño o no solamente aprendo de esa forma. I just live life. Like, if you're gonna learn a language, live your life in that language. I'm learning vocabulary but struggling with forming sentences. I'm 3 months in. 3 months, that's so new. You're so new. Give yourself some time. Don't rush it. Go slow. Start off with small sentences. Set small goals. So like my first Portuguese goals were to know how to say what's in the kitchen, where is it, and know how to describe it. Simple. Now I gotta just know how to form those sentences to say those things. Very simple stuff. So a tigela está no armario, right? So it's like, that's a really simple sentence. Not anything complex at all. Just learn those things and then build on top of that and start connecting more and more sentences, and then you'll be, saying fuller paragraphs and things of that sort. So that'll be my advice to you. Pero mi gente, it's been like an hour. I gotta go. Me tengo que ir. Because I need to get some stuff done for this Spanish conversation course that I'm coming out, or not course, but the sessions that I'm coming out with for you guys in January. So, nos fuimos. Gracias por ver esto. Y sí, nos vemos la próxima vez. Cuídense.